There, sorry, this took so long to get around to making. I've just had some massive, issues, you know? Mainly just bad nose, bad everything, like, so I haven't really been recording anything. I have done some level ups though, like, I did want to keep my thing nice and low, but I decided, you know what, considering how this game's gonna get, I'll probably, well, I'm still not over, like, 300 in stats, like, 3,000 in stats, so I'm still pretty low. I just, personally, want to, you know, what's the term? Be able to do stuff. I only really upgraded the roll to like and a bit of stamina. Outside that, I'm pretty happy with my stats. Right, take them out because they're going to be annoying. Okay, that's a questionable hitbox. No, there's one thing this game always sucks with, it's its stair hitbox. Ah yes, knives, the most cancerous thing. Like with knives, you really don't want to get any like you really just want to get lots of stamina and you want to get lots of dodge. Oh, you can't open that backwards. That's one back. Okay. But yeah, with knives, you just want to get a lot of like stamina and a lot of like dodge and a decent amount of HP, and then you sort of want to get like just a very status heavy build. Oh my nose. Because like it is absolutely hilarious. Like how what's the term? It is hilarious how overpowered status effect is in this game. Like it's a legit joke. Like if anyone's seen status effect, you'll know what I mean. Like it is an actual joke how broken that stuff is. Okay, goodbye tree. Didn't need to rest, but I decided I want to anyway. Not taking any chances in my current state. One good thing about this is I believe it has decent durability and it has the longest length of any rapier. So while it's not a spear, it's definitely like, yeah, you can get a decent poke distance. It's also an abomination in PvP to deal with. The poke. Are you all done? Do I have arrows? Yes, I do. Get rid of you. Yeah, Forlorn's pretty much 99% of the time going to spawn here. Yep, that's 100 and like or so agility right there. Absolutely power. Like agility with light armor is an abomination. Like this is the reason agility should not be tied to a stat, especially like if you get into like late game PvP, because people will forego damage purely just for the agility. They will actually forgo damage to get like agility. Like okay, like that's one thing I don't like as well. Is like the tracking in this game is dumb. Like, it's like later games as well have the same problem where their tracking's just monstrously high. I'm not sure if Dark Souls 1 had this level of tracking, I don't remember. I haven't completed Dark Souls 1, so I don't know either way. But it definitely, like, it becomes more noticeable as you go through the games that the tracking gets more and more busted. And it's very, like, unenjoyable, like, the tracking, because you're just dealing with some nonsense where the enemy just sort of does this to you. And Elden Ring is the worst example of, like, tracking, because that's, like, with the bosses, too. Like, the bosses generally didn't have, unless they were extremely passive, bosses generally didn't have that worrying of a track. Like, which was a good thing. But in Elden Ring, like, the bosses are absolute. Every boss sucks in that game. Like, there's not a good boss. Like, there's okay bosses, like gimmicky bosses or like early bosses that are like okay. But very much once you're past that point, you're like, oh, okay, well, okay, I messed up completely. I'll just stab him in the back then and I'll make up for it. But yeah, definitely when you get past that point of the okay bosses in Elden Ring, it's sort of like none of the bosses are that good. I don't get what people mean by calling Elden Ring Game of the Year. It's not even Game of the Decade. It's not even like a good game. And that's not me being mean on Elden Ring. I just think Elden Ring has too many problems to be considered a good game. And you don't have to agree with that. I just personally feel that. I feel like the game's too clunky. Its story is so poorly portrayed, so you can't even give it a good story. Though it has a lot of good concepts, it just doesn't have the actual, you know, enactment of it. It's like having a good script, but you never actually build anything from the script. That's Elden Ring with its story. Only in this case, the script's half written. And then you have its combat, which is unupdated, unoriginal, repetitive, uncreative, boring, tedious. I could just keep listing these bullet points, but that is really how I feel about Elden Ring's combat. Because with this game, you can just sort of simply slow pace it, you could be careful, you could be patient. Except for with arrows. Arrows have sucked in every game. Like, range is an abomination. I messed up there. I went too far forward when I didn't mean to, and I got a double whammy for it. Yeah, like, this game very much encourages to have a shield on you just for the arrows, so I might equip one. I'll equip you. Purely just to prevent the arrow users from being annoying. Excuse me, what? Okay, you're fine. I can whoop you easy. But yeah, like, my problem with Elden Ring is very much I feel the game just is completely uncreative in its design. Well, that's sort of my view of the issue. Like, it's just Elden Ring's too uncreative to really be liked by me, you know? Because I've played Dark Souls 2, I've played Dark Souls 3, I've played Bloodborne. I've even played a good amount of Dark Souls 1. So it's like, there's just nothing you really get from Elden Ring, you know? Elden Ring just feels like the cheap knockoff game when, like, you compare them, you know? As some may say that's like a little mean, like, to call Elden Ring, like, a cheap knockoff game, but I really don't know what else to call it. But I really don't, because it feels like the game's just so poorly designed. Maybe it was the open world and they just didn't expect like the requirements for such a design. I don't know. I would have thought that would be the first thing you check. And what's even worse is they've made the, like, even though they have separate scaling for PvP and PvE. Ah, yes, gotta love these magic hitboxes. Bloody hate like, no matter the game, skeletons are always annoying. Never good. And we have a stupid bow and arrow. There we go. Well, that could have gone better, but yeah, I'm not sure why I went on a ramble about Elden Ring. I guess it just came to mind. Like, I don't even dislike the game, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people probably think I dislike Elden Ring. No, I just think there's better games. I don't think Elden Ring is as good as people make it out to be, and that's why I get annoyed at people's constant praise of it. Because it's not that good of a game. I can't hit it, so whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure I have the giant club on me as well, that's the thing. Like, I'd have to check. No, I don't, I have the hammer. I'm not sure if I can use the hammer though. I wonder if I can back. Oh, you can backstab. Okay, that. I've done it before. I forget why I keep forgetting. It doesn't do much damage though, apparently. I thought it did more damage. Apparently not. They're running around like an idiot. Talk to him until I get the skill and ability. Also, just in case you want to know my stats, that's my stats currently. So I'm still sort of in the, not low level, but low soul memory type thing I want to do. Oh, I'm at risk. Now, like, I did want to keep it lower level, but then I remembered that, like, I'm gonna have to either upgrade my health fairly, my weight fairly, or my rolls fairly if I want to avoid some of the shenanigans that comes later on. Because this is one of the games that does really force you to level up, you know? I'll very much argue that, like, it forces you to level up unless you're, like, really good, and I'll admit I'm not that good in comparison with the PvE. And I don't spend enough time in the PvP because I can't be bothered to resource grind that much. So it's like, yeah, I definitely hope the blue acolyte thing gets sorted soon. So I don't have to, like, grind up stuff and then I can get back into getting used to PvE. PvP, I mean. Bless me. I'm not sure why the cheeks always end up so weirdly coloured. It looks really unhealthy. Yes, this is more a ramble episode where I just ramble a lot. Oh, I do, like, no damage here. That's great. And both of them are sort of being filthy anchors, I see. Yes. You know what, screw it. I just hope you're not the bone wheel one. I got 25 agility. What are you gonna do? Sure, that totally hit. Oh, someone would have dropped the Lauren's skull, but I forget that's like the group, isn't it, that does that? Always gotta love when the enemies have like that teensy bit extra range compared to you, and they always like time their hits perfectly. And they also have they're faster as well. Now that is a trick I've noticed in like every Souls game, so I'm not gonna like bash 2 for it. There's a trick at every Souls game does where they just give their like things like that extra bit of speed, like that extra bit of like range. Like I'm definitely not gonna bash this game for it when like I've seen worse examples. Like at least this game generally, outside of like some very select enemies, doesn't do as much. And of course, you know what select enemies I'm on about in this game. They're right at the end of the game with the stupid pew-pews and the stupid hammer swing. Like really, yeah, the Shrine of Amara and the Dragon Ares, those enemies like really could use a redesign. I won't even fight people on that. Like I find that completely fair. Like to argue those areas need a complete redesign. Oh my nose. No, I don't think this is a thrusting weapon actually from its design. Like it looks like a slashing weapon. I'm not entirely sure though, the blade might be a bit too thin. But it looks like a weapon where you would be doing that kind of attack more often, so you're sort of stabbing them with like slashing with a tip. It definitely looks like a weapon you'd do that more than you'd actually do the thrusting attack. Which would be an interesting weapon design. Could you like imagine that? Like a weapon that instead of like being a thrusting weapon, even if it looked like one, it was instead like a tip slash weapon. So like you had to hit with the tip more often to get the best damage of it. Like I think that'd be kind of cool.
Are you a trap? I never planned, but I must have. But now, many. I've extra. Like these. I suppose.
Okay, time to equip these. And we'll get going. Sometimes you have enemies that are just annoying. You have to do that. Ow. Okay, I didn't think that would happen, I'll be honest. That was stupid on my part. Well, is that like my first proper death or by an enemy because I acted like a complete idiot and walked into his big bomb? Like, really? That's embarrassing. That's actually embarrassing. Future note: don't walk right into an enemy. You'll die. Isn't it? You'd think that's like a yeah, duh type thing. Like, yeah, don't walk into an enemy. I forget skeletons can parry because they so rarely do it. Oh, you know, I'm just gonna grab all this stuff. And then we loop back. No, I'm definitely not playing this optimal. I wasted all my resources. I didn't have enough life gems on me. Like, I could have probably out-healed the poison otherwise. But I really wasn't thinking that through there. That was purely on me being an idiot. Like, it's because I don't usually come through with the poking stick. Like, really, with this area, the poking stick's actually kind of bad. Which is an extremely rare statement to make, to say the poking stick isn't good. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen them have that kind of reach. That's actually kind of funny. I don't think I've ever seen that enemy have that kind of reach. I've never had them do that. Oh, my nose is still sucky. Do I bring a binding on at least? No, I don't. Oh, that's good. I have... Why do I have that on? You know what? That would be more useful. The Ring of Evil Eye. Move, you... Oh, that's cancer. I hate that. I always hate that. Like, in every game that happens. And it's like... They always make the spaces tight enough that you can't get around them. That was stupid on my part. I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't. I guess it's because they don't aggro usually that much. Move. Move. Get away. Oh, that was real close. Do I have any heals? I don't have any heals. Oh, that's great. Uh-huh. Well, as it's a large portion, might as well use one of you. But yeah, I played that really stupidly. I could have played that a lot better. I'm just glad that one doesn't have any parry attacks. That would be a nightmare. Let's do the one. Oh, I'm just gonna attack them because otherwise they're gonna continue being annoying. Wait, were you? I just realised that they were bowing to her. Oh my goodness, mates. You lot need to... I don't know. Why did I just pick up red? Oh, I picked up a red crack tile. Nice. Also, I need to figure out how to get those lizards. I guess I could try and bow them. Yeah, that doesn't work. I clearly hit him, but whatever, I guess. I roll. Like, this is the one thing I definitely dislike the design of. It's the stupid hitboxes on the lizards, because they're tiny. Like, why can't I just look down like this? And aim down? I don't get it. Oh, I could two-hand this, and I'll be fine. There we go. I've actually been trying out a few interesting weapons. I was actually trying out like the axe as well, like in another save. Like weapons I just don't generally use. I swear I came in an angle that would make it turn away from the hole, apparently not. But yeah, I decided to use an axe, which I'm not a general user of. Oh, come on. I kept clicking swing and the game was just like, no, we're going to do this weird wiggle thing with you. And it's like, okay. I'm gonna love when inputs don't... Like, even here, this is probably the most annoying thing in the game. Like, you can have outside of, like, the certain set of questionable hitboxes. I clearly hit you, but okay. Oh, okay, game. Okay, I hit that thing like twice. Actually, I think I hit it every time, but the game's just like, nah. Like, that is a thing that happens, unfortunately. It's just like, oh well. It's annoying, you're sure. Okay, I hit you. I'm gonna get right... You see what I mean by hitboxes at times being here for like small enemies. Because it's always with the small enemies, it's always the tiny enemies that have this hitbox problem. It's never the large ones. Okay, whatever game, you're absolutely fundamental. I'll be back. So I literally just got it the very next turn I said I would be back on. Like, wow. This game really wants my brain just to go, yeah, on me. Bless me. Okay, random camera locks onto enemies I don't want to target. And while I could go down there, I'm not going to go down there because I already poisoned my entire, like, resources through and I'd rather not do that again. Alright. And I just remembered we're in this area, aren't we? We're some of the worst designed enemies in this game. And by worst design, I mean the headless mannequins. that are absolute cancer to deal with. Yeah, sure, like, I literally had no poison on me, but you carried on building up. Got it. Well, if I poison, I might as well go for the poison lake, because I got a weaker version, I think. No, actually, I forget, that's something in Elden Ring. Which I think is a cool system in Elden Ring. I'll give Elden Ring that, like, where poison isn't as strong if, like, you're in a lake. I mean, outside the lake, when the proc flickers. I definitely like that system. Like, I think it's a cool system. There we go. Play smarter, not harder, isn't it? Nibble, nibble, nibble. Oh my, I was already attacking when they went for that skill. So I couldn't do anything. I was going to get hit no matter what. Because as soon as I went for the attack, they fired out that skill. I should have known they always go for that skill first. I should have known. They're always uncreative and go for that one skill. It's like that one player who found a really annoyingly powerful move. And they just spam it over and over again. Like in a fighting game. Like, so they just do one move. It's like For Honor and dodge spam, really. Where, like, you're playing an assassin class and you know you have a side attack. Or you're playing one of, like, the pay-to-win heroes on their first week of release. And you just spam the dodge attack like 20 trillion times to get, like, some easy wins. Because there's no counter until they've been patched, like, 82 times. Like, it's always like that. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, now I'm not going to be an idiot. But talk about, like, cheat. They literally waited for me to do that attack. Sorry, you need help with this boss? Oh yeah, I did not expect to do that much damage. Oh, is that the jump attack? Also, no, it's not. It's just I don't think I've ever seen him do that attack before. Well, that's over. Ooh, what? Wow, that boss is a little pathetic. Like, its lore is apparently pretty sad, but it's because apparently he was, like, I believe, lover to the Poison Queen or something. I can't remember exactly. But wow, that was a pretty pathetic boss. You know what? I only wanted to get, like, a video down. This cold's kind of annoying, so I'm probably gonna end it here a bit early. I would usually just go. I would probably go through this area as well for, like, the video, but this cold's actually getting pretty annoying to speak with. So I might do a little more recording later if, like, it chills out a bit, but if not, like, yeah, this is gonna be the video. Excuse me, well, this is gonna be the video anyway, but you get my point. Hope you enjoyed my little rambling about, like, games and stuff I didn't like. Because in all honesty, despite me thinking this is one of the better games I've played, I still have my issues with it. Like, the hitboxes on certain enemies, the very questionable startup animation frames on a lot of enemies, like the questionable selection of moves. Like, there are things about this game that annoy me. But yeah, I still enjoy it far more than I do like later titles in the series. Like, really, Bloodborne's the only fast-paced like Dark Souls I actually really enjoy. And that's because it's a completely different type of game. So it actually makes sense to have a different pacing instead of just copying over the previous system. Anyway, take care, people. Peace.